What's good, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the weirdest videos from all over the internet. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Hope you enjoy.
Did you guys hear about the homeowner who called ICE on the workers she hired to fix her roof just to get out of paying them? So these 6 men from Guatemala spent 3 days working on this one's roof in Maryland. It was said that the job was completely done and that when it was time to pay up, which she owed a total of $10,000, she called ICE to her home to arrest the workers. So the story went super viral and people were pissed off because obviously it's a shitty thing to do, but also you add the fact that it's because she didn't want to pay them, and that makes it so much more messed up. Anyway, since this video came out, her and her family have been getting death threats like non-stop, and she said that she actually never called ICE on the workers, and ICE also said that it was a planned operation way before that day and that the homeowner had nothing to do with this. And then people started pointing out something. They said that in the video it actually looks like the job hadn't even been started yet, which if that's true, it kind of changes the whole story, because then the whole she called ICE to avoid paying them doesn't really add up. Now, if the original story is true, if she did call ICE to get out of paying these workers, she could actually be charged with a crime. The law doesn't allow you to use someone's immigration status to get out of paying them for their work. Either way, this whole situation is so fucked up.
I mean, to be honest, even if they were indeed illegal immigrants, it still would be a messed up thing for her to do, you know? To like use it as an excuse for her not to pay. Because I'm willing to bet she already knew that they were illegal immigrants before she hired them, so... Or maybe she was planning to do this the whole time, who knows? Anyways, I don't like anything on TikTok. On to the next one.
Unsolved Mysteries with the most chilling phone call, part 1. Trigger warning, all of these stories you're about to see are real and documented, and every single one of these are still unsolved to this day. For our first story tonight, there's this young girl named Antoinette. On April 6, 1986, her and her sister were up at 3 a.m. at the house. At just 9 years old, they heard a knock on the door. She said, "Who is it?" And this man said, "Uncle Joe, please let me in, it's cold out here." According to her sister's reports, as soon as Antoinette opened the door, 2 men grabbed her and put her in a brown van. Here's where everything gets super creepy. Her sister said that she kicked and screamed all the way to the van. 1 year later, the police received this phone call, and what you are about to hear literally gives me chills.
Police department. Hello. I'm Antoinette Caribito. Okay, whereabouts in Albuquerque? Hello? Antoinette, where are you?
This
Copy me, Cody.
Whatever ends up happening to this lady because of that doll is well deserved, because why would you have Annabelle herself within your household? I mean, are you slow mentally? If you want to invite the demon doll into your home, pay the price, you know? I won't feel any sympathy for you. What are you doing grooming Annabelle? Like, buy a puppy or something. At least they're not demonically possessed, you know? Anyways.
Scary facts about your body. The liver can grow back. Bones are alive. Sweat can turn red. Eyes can pop out. Teeth can grow in weird places. Trees can grow in lungs. You can forget how to breathe. You can be allergic to water. There are trillions of viruses in you right now. Your nose can fall off. Your brain can eat itself. Your heart can explode. You can cough up a lung. You can cry stones. Your nails can grow after death. Your ears never stop growing. You can taste with your feet. You can shed your skin like a snake.
These are the 10 worst movies of all time according to IMDb. So if you're in the mood for something terrible, here you go. And for reference, these movies are so bad that War of the Worlds didn't even make the list. So starting off in 10th place is Epic Movie with 2.5 stars. Then in 9th place is 2005's Son of the Mask. Moving on, in 8th place is technically the worst zombie movie of all time, House of the Dead. In 7th place is the most current movie on this list, coming out in 2021, Radi. Now in 6th place, starring Paris Hilton, is The Hottie and the Naughty. The name isn't bad, but it's often cited as the worst rom-com of all time. In 5th place is Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas, making it technically the worst Christmas movie of all time. In 4th place is Super Baby's Baby Geniuses 2. Now in 3rd place is Birdemic Shock and Terror. This movie became infamous for its terrible CGI birds, which were literally dragged across the screen frame by frame. In 2nd place is the oldest movie on this list, Manos, The Hands of Fate, which was actually made by a fertilizer salesman after he bet he could make a horror movie despite having zero filmmaking experience. And finally, the lowest rated movie of all time is Disaster Movie. So if anyone dare watches any of these movies, let me know if they're so bad that they're good or if they're just bad.
I'm arresting you.
Yeah.
Okay, on suspicion.
This is the moment a 30-year-old was arrested for a crime committed over 2 decades ago.
Of the theft of Trevor A's Elmer's glue stick in Schaumburg, Illinois in 2002. Do you know what I'm referring to, sir?
Kevin Sanchez was linked to the theft of Trevor A's glue stick after a forensic scientist found nose hair samples on a glue stick discovered earlier this year at the park near Michael C.'s old house. The DNA matches suggest they were 1 billion times more likely to have come from Sanchez than anyone else. Trevor A's glue stick was originally reported missing from Mrs. Griffith's first grade class in 2002. But in the 23 years that followed, no one was brought to justice. Sanchez denies the crimes.
Facts you
Like,
didn't.
imagine getting arrested years later for a crime you committed when you were a newborn.
You didn't know that could save your life. If your hair suddenly stands up, run for cover because you're about to be hit by lightning. If a service dog ever approaches you without its owner, follow it immediately because you could save that person's life. If you're driving and you feel like someone's following you, make 4 right turns until you eventually make a circle. If they're still behind you, don't go home. Call the police or go to the nearest police station. If you see a tornado and it's not moving, it's because it's actually moving towards you. If the ocean is retreating, there's a tsunami coming. Run to the nearest high ground immediately. No matter how thirsty you are, do not eat large amounts of snow. Too much ice in your stomach can cause you to die of hypothermia. Melt the ice and then drink it. Before a natural disaster, fill up your sink and tub so that you have access to emergency clean water. If you are ever chased by a polar bear, take off all your clothes, get completely naked, and throw them on the ground. Polar bears have really short attention spans and will inspect the clothes before continuing to chase you. If you're on a plane that crashes into the water, don't inflate your life vest until after you've swam out of the plane. If you inflate your life jacket before escaping, you are much more likely to get trapped inside the plane.
We have an update on Felicity and Dakota, and after seeing these pictures, people are very concerned, especially for Felicity. Now, the guy that shared these photos, I guess took these photos, Harry Hamrick over on FB, asked people to stop calling the police on Dakota. People are still calling, saying that there is a minor out on the streets by herself, when in reality, they know it's Dakota, they are just calling to call. We even have audio from one of those 911 calls that was released a few weeks ago.
Greenbrier Street, Washington Street East. Dakota is standing there holding a sign. Callers called in, getting out of trouble being on him. You want us to clear what he was?
This photo seems as though Dakota is, for whatever reason, on top of Felicity, but what her pants say are actually kind of funny. It says, I heart SLUTS. Here's the big picture of that photo, but here is why people are concerned specifically about Felicity. It seems as though Felicity and Dakota have both shaved their heads completely. Could be a medical reason, could be by choice, but people are very concerned.
My daughter's sleeping with me in my bed tonight. She kept saying that she was really scared of something in her room. I'm a little bit shaky. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is the same toy that used to go off in the past. And it's always terrified me since. So I would ask it questions and it would answer with noises. With noises.
It's late at night when a mother quickly grabs her phone to record this video. She lays in bed across from her daughter, who just told her a few hours ago that she was scared of sleeping in her room. According to the mother who sent me this, she was terribly shaken up by the events of that night. Something in her home had felt completely off, and she needed to record this. While taking this video, she captures this.
These TikTokers, man, they be killing me. Like, oh my god, there's a scary ghost or a creature in the next room while my daughter is sleeping. Quick, let me grab my phone and make a TikTok in case we all get eaten or something. Like, first of all, when people are indeed terrified, or if they actually believe that there's a ghost or a scary creature in their presence, the last thing on their mind is to pull their phone out and record a TikTok for nerds to watch. You know what I mean? Or I just may be a little harsh and looking at it the wrong way, but that's how I personally feel. I mean, all it was a malfunctioning toy and a moving hand. It could be animatronic. You never know. One thing about me is I don't believe anything I see on TikTok, because it's TikTok, you know? Like, imagine being on TikTok. I mean, I can't really say this because we're literally watching them right now, so I need to humble myself. Sorry.
Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites is surprisingly good at stopping mosquito bites. In 2019, researchers were testing if electronic music had any effect on mosquitoes, trying a bunch of different songs. To conduct the experiment, they had 2 different test groups. In each group, there were hundreds of female mosquitoes who hadn't eaten in 12 hours, 1 virgin male mosquito, and a hamster. One of the test groups would listen to a song on repeat for 10 minutes, and the control group wouldn't listen to anything. And the researchers found that the mosquitoes who listened to Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites took 3 to 4 times longer to find the hamster, and when they did find it, they didn't bite it nearly as many times as the control group. And the Skrillex mosquitoes also mated significantly less than the mosquitoes in the control group. The researchers believe the song's mix of high and low frequencies, constantly escalating pitch, and excessive loudness essentially overwhelmed and confused the mosquitoes, making it hard for them to focus and find the hamster and eat it. And the song's aggressive, noisy vibrations prevented the mosquitoes from performing their mating ritual, where the male and female mosquitoes synchronize their wing beats.
I found some stuff on my husband's phone. Here's
Where's he at?
I've seen this, and I never thought it would happen to me. And we got 2 kids. One of them.
First of all, what is this supposed to be? There's no audio, and like, what? First of all, what are you doing in the tunnel at midnight? Nothing good ever comes out of these things. So what are you doing? Like, you're looking for Pennywise or something? You're probably gonna end up getting consumed by an alligator. Like, just stay home and play Fortnite, dummy.
claims that she's lived before. Olivia began saying strange things from a young age. She loved music and she kept saying that she wanted a guitar. Her mother eventually bought her one. She bought her very first guitar, and to her surprise, when Olivia picked it up, she began playing like she'd played before. Her mother said, "Olivia, how did you just do that?" She said, "Mummy, I used to be a singer. I used to sing in California and New York." The details just kept coming from this kid. She said, "I used to have a family before I became your daughter." She claimed that she travelled on horse and cart and she had a sister called Marianne.
My name is Olivia and I'm 5 years old. Yeah, I got a bunch of sisters. 5 of them died, but I have one left. Marianne.
Interestingly enough, Olivia did not like her chin being touched. If anybody touched her chin, she would scream. She would scream as if it hurt. And mother took her to the doctors, and the doctor said, "She's fine, there's nothing wrong." It was kind of put down as a sensory issue. Olivia continued spurting out facts about this past life. Her mother believed there was something more to this, and through some extensive research, she found something. By the way, if you are enjoying these types of videos, hit the like and repost and show the page some love. Anyway, so mother started researching and she found something. She found something that fit. Olive Oatman was a young pioneer girl who was held captive after her family were attacked. There was only her and her sister who survived. Her sister, Marianne, they were actually kidnapped by a tribe and they were marked. They were marked with tattoos on their chins. It was a sign of ownership, a sign of belonging. When Olivia's mother showed the photo of Olive Oatman to her daughter, she said, "Look, Mummy, it's me." Oh, that just gave me the chills.
Here are some deeply terrifying facts. The human eye evolved specifically to detect eyes watching us, so if you ever feel like you're being watched, it's because that instinct has saved lives. If you are ever to be murdered, the most effective way of disposing of your body is to feed it to pigs, because pigs will eat anything and everything. They make sure that there's no traces of your body left. Many people vanish this way. There are people alive right now that will never ever be found. Thousands of people vanish every year without a trace. No body, no clues, no explanation. If you ever get murdered in the US, there is a 1 in 3 chance that your murder will never ever be discovered or caught. Some murders will never be discovered, not unsolved, undetected. No investigations, no missing persons, nothing. At some point in your life, you will have likely walked past either a murderer or someone capable of extreme violence, and there's a very bigger chance that you've walked past people who are seconds away from violence. Your death could be completely unnoticed, even during the day, even in urban areas, even in your bed, or even in a public place. Modern life hides death very, very well.
Well, wasn't that very uplifting and positive to hear, you know? Just ruined my day.
Mystery of the most beautiful slave in New Orleans history. In the autumn of 1837, the St. Louis Hotel in New Orleans was packed with the city's wealthiest men. The auction that evening had drawn an unusual level of interest, even for a city known as the largest slave market in the United States. This is Black AF History, the unwhitewashed story of America. It not only talks about slavery, but about how our people are the foundation and backbone of this country, and we need the recognition we deserve. I'll link it below. Grab it while it's on Black Friday sale. Now, what made this particular sale different was not the number of human beings on the block, but rather the presence of a single woman who would soon become known throughout the city as the Pearl, a name that would echo through the cobblestone streets of the French Quarter for decades to come. She stood 5 feet and 4 inches tall, with skin described in the auction papers as the color of fresh cream with the slightest hint of coffee. Her eyes were a deep amber that seemed to change hue depending on the light, and her hair fell in long, glossy black waves down her back. The auctioneer, a man named Thomas Williams, introduced her simply as lot number 17. But those in attendance knew they were witnessing something extraordinary, as whispers moved through the crowd like ripples on the Mississippi. Now, biracial slaves, mulatto slaves, and slaves with 1/4 black ancestry were considered to be somewhat of a delicacy. Now, I hate using that word, but that's just how I would describe it for what, people used to do to us back in the day. And because of the fact that she was light-skinned and that she had a lot of passing features, she was considered to be one of the most beautiful slaves in New Orleans at the time, at least by the white people in white society. But she was still treated as a slave and sold at the slave market as a slave was. Now, a lot of mulattoes were like 2 or 3 times the price of a dark-skinned slave.
This felt like it was about me, to be honest. I mean, I'm light-skinned, so I feel like I feel targeted. Are they talking about me? And why does the lady kind of look like me? Or I just may be delusional? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, y'all, episode is now officially over. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.